What's up, my friends? No gimmicks, no catchphrase. Let us begin. The great dictator is fear. I would know. I would probably know more than most. A lot of people, they get a taste of fear and they say, "Oh, yeah, you know what? This ain't a desired taste. You know, this is not something that I want." So I will go the other way. And the further along we get in society, I think in one regard or the other, we can get away with that. I don't know if it's sustainable, but we can get away with going the opposite way of fear. Society will always accept you to be a cog in it. But here's the thing, though. The reason why I question if it's sustainable is because that we are all, if we're in the working field, a great percentage of us, almost most of us, are in jobs that just aren't really sustainable for humans over the long haul. So when you think you're playing it safe, you may actually be making the greatest risk of them all. You know, by putting your time into something that you deem to be safe, but doesn't have your name, your royalties attached to it. No guarantee except for you'll get paid so long as you get to work. Things like that. And so we take that with our linear thinking, we take that with our obligations and our responsibilities, and then we get caught into a cycle. You know, the jobs, they work us to sleep, pay us enough to, keep us fed and, help us take care of our children sometimes. And, it's hard to exert any more energy, any more thinking power towards other things, towards thinking bigger, man. It's tough. It's not impossible, but it's tough because I had a job at one point and it was in construction, so basically working out all day. So you can imagine how tired I would feel. Man, it was pretty tough, but it did give me a lot of time to think and reflect on what I would want to do in life. And although construction is a great job, I didn't want to do this for the rest of my life. I didn't want people telling me, things like, "Oh, well, if you want to make it in this company, if you want to get a raise, you got to do this, you got to do that," or they got to say, "Well, if you really want to show that you're worthy to this company and thing." But I got tired of hearing that. Like, in my mind, I'm just thinking, bro, I'm only here to get paid. I don't give a fuck about this job. They don't give a fuck about me. The owner doesn't know me. The owner ain't calling me up to break bread, to mentor me, anything like that. So why would I really care all that much? Now, although I did say in a previous video that I think that you should focus on doing your best at everything that you do, my heart and soul wasn't in it, especially because of the way that I was treated. Okay, so you can't blame anybody for that. But I know fear so much, and it's not like I got it down pat. It's not like, oh, now I'm the fearless one. It's quite the opposite. It's just that I don't want to live with the regret of not facing my fears. Seriously, for the sake of trying to keep the peace, because I understand that that just doesn't work. It definitely has adverse effects, no matter how you try to flip it. No matter how you try to flip it, you think you keeping the peace by looking the other way, but it's just growing in the background when it could have been killed when it was kind of small, when it was smaller in comparison, and then when it really breaks past a boiling point, then that's it, man. And there's no turning back. But anyway. So when we speak about fear and how it's a great dictator, man, all those worries get to us first. Many times have I awakened on a day where it's just a lot of uncertainty, and as a result, I just kind of wanted to go back to sleep and just face that dream life, because it just was so much more appealing to me than society around me. Sometimes it still feels like that, but I think I'm finally at a point where, like, I'm really enjoying the process, enjoying the game. Wish I had more time to put towards everything that I want to do, but slowly but surely I'm gonna go ahead and knock it out. I just need to think longevity and just immerse myself, which is really important. And immersion will help shift you away from fear. But anyway, and I like to talk about solutions and things like that. But let me just go ahead and just you know lay it all out and speak on fear being the great dictator. Fear can convince us that we can hold things off for a day, couple days, couple weeks, months, 20 years, 20, 40 years till you retire, and then you had the time of your life. And what happens is, in our deathbeds, we have a lot of regrets, as I've spoken on many times, but it's definitely worth mentioning now, because that's my thought process when I think about what I want to do in life and what I want to have what I would like to have out of life. I think about what that old man would be like. Even though many times when I picture my future, I never thought that I would make it to old age, but that's okay. And I kind of do. I do want to stick around and watch, my trees grow, so to speak. Every seed that I plant, I want to see what that becomes. But I think about the old person, the old version of me, and just like, man, I was too scared. I was too scared to go after anything. I was too scared to make a difference. I was too scared to assert myself. I was too scared to take risk. And I take a lot of risk, and I still feel like I'm living fearfully. It's just, I don't know what it is. So I really still need to get to the core of that. But bravery is not having fear; it's facing your fear. So I can still rest my hat on, okay, at least I'm being brave in some degrees. I mean, sometimes for some of us, waking up in the morning, getting out of bed in the morning and trying to push for something through a bunch of uncertainty, that's bravery. So we always looking for these home runs, these big triumphant events, but a great life can be made of a lot of small things, not necessarily monotonous, but just small things that make a big difference. If you have to weigh certain things, if you have to weigh your every action, your every choice, you weigh the good with the bad, and just pay close attention to the weight, to which way it's leaning. But we have this fear of what people may think of us, what people may say, and we embody that, better than we give it to ourselves better than anybody else can, or worse than anybody else can give it to us. And the reason is because we take it all in, and it's like a bunch of substances, and we mix them together. It's like jungle juice in a sense, and jungle juice, that should have knocked your ass out, especially if you ain't had nothing to eat. Which is a great analogy, because if you ain't eating the right things, if you ain't feeding your mind, then all of these substances are going to come in and they're going to take over. And and also in some weird way, it's going to be an acquired taste, like black people liking chitlins. Okay, we didn't want to like chitlins, it just so happens that scraps, that's all we had to survive. And when you find a way to survive, it's kind of hard for you to get rid of what helped you survive, even while thriving. And I think that's good. I think it's good to have a reminder of where you came from. Just like people say that I should change my name from Nowhere because it just seems like small, but I like it. Because I just feel like when I arrive, it's always going to feel like I came from nowhere. I feel like I came from nowhere. In a sense, we all did. But that's the narrative that I would like to have for myself. Just somebody who, people ain't really bet on or anything like that. They never patted me on my back, encouraged me, really took time to invest in, all those things. But just to become something, and I feel like that's gonna make the greatest difference for a lot of people who feel similar to that. So that's why I do things like that. Even though I'm a little fearful about how people may perceive what I put out sometimes. I'm definitely getting better with that with age, and just like detaching myself from expectations and all that. But sometimes when I'm real vulnerable, I fear how people people will perceive me, but you do it anyway. All right, so that's how I'm able to say, oh, I'm fearful, oh, I'm a little shy, I'm a little scared, But I still show up, man. Like, if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it, because I don't want fear to dictate. And I look back at my life and just like, man, you were a fucking coward, man. Like, you need to embody things. Like, so what if people feel this way about you? So what if people count you out? That's good. That's a great fucking thing. Nobody will be checking up on you. That's good. You can't plan to stop something you're not paying attention to. You know what I'm saying? You don't know where it's coming from. Nowhere. Alright, but so when I speak about regrets and I speak about how fear can dictate your life, I feel like I don't need to beat a dead horse. Like, you already know. Living up to other people's expectations are asinine, and living up to unrealistic expectations that you've embodied from the highlight reels of social media and media in general is going to do you in. Is going to paralyze you. It's going to stop you from doing anything. It's going to take the sting out of the little things that could actually make a difference in your own life. All right, and that's how I had to teach myself how to not spit at small victories. Alright, because your small victories are huge to somebody else, bro. It's huge to somebody else. Alright, like, it's a lot of people who could be using something that you're able to do, or use a quality that you, whatever it is. If you can understand this, you can speak English, and a lot of people could benefit from that alone. Alright, so just imagine what would happen if you spend your time on things that you're passionate about. It translates to everything. I think one of the biggest things that helped me with dealing with fear was that all those times where I did feel paralyzed, and then I inevitably got depressed and had to deal with suicidal thoughts and anxiety, and none of the things, like, none of the people that I was worried about per se, it was nobody in general, but the people, none of them were there for me to give me a hand up, try to help me out, or whatever. So why would I even care about their opinions when I'm trying to find my way up? And then when you up, then all of a sudden they make themselves visible and try to bring you back down. Like, I know how the game goes. So it's actually, it sucks that you have to go through that. When you go through that many times, just trying to look beyond what you see. But if you really get the lesson, then you start moving differently, and then you don't take things to heart, because you understand that bitter people just do bitter shit. So it's just best that you don't get bitter, you get better, and then you get unaffected by it. You start looking at shit like that as child's play. But it's important that you always feeding yourself the right shit, the positive things in the morning, and you tell yourself positive things, and you do mirror gazing, which I'm gonna make a video on, and you gotta talk to yourself, say motivating things, be truthful, be compassionate towards yourself, and really sign up to play the game. Just be willing to take on the hardships that's to come, but learn to appreciate the day-to-day things, man. Just the clouds in the sky, children laughing, just the opportunity to create and just present yourself to the world. You never know when your swing is going to be the one, but you just stay immersed, man. I can't stress that enough, man. Immersion, like submersion, to be deep within. Slow time down. In fact, time doesn't even exist. So to wrap it all up, I feel like I might be missing something, because I haven't been doing any planning for my videos. I'm just going straight from the heart. Living in fear is going to put you down quicker than you would think. Not only if you get into the habit, but just because time goes by so fast, and a lot of our time is already accounted for. So every little pocket of time you have to take a chance on some of those things that you wanted to take a chance on, then you might as well go ahead and get it. Alright, so just like with this video right here, I know I put out a lot of philosophical things, a lot of self-help, but I'm not even going to start a new channel, even if that hurts me. But I'm going to be adding other things as well, things that matter to me. I'm gonna be adding music to this. I mean, I don't know how many pranks I'm gonna be doing or anything like that. I'm definitely still gonna be adding value, and I'm gonna be just adding my music and anything else that I choose to do that I think that I would like to incorporate into my world. And because I'm turning myself into a brand, I know I might not look like much, and I'm not all dolled up, and I don't got the earrings, the bling bling, and I ain't in the BMW or anything like that. But hey, look, man, I'm my own brand, man. I represent the people who were fucking underdogs, who counted themselves out, but who kept believing, who just want to do the right thing, who playing chess with life, who really trying to make something out of themselves, who really trying to make a difference and just build generational wealth and be historic, because that's what you're meant to be, man. Just reclaim some of your old glory, and that's the glory of old. Like me, I just think about my ancestors, and if they would be proud just to see me taking these chances, would they be proud of me trying to enhance my vocabulary? Not even necessarily my vocabulary, but just enhance my intellect. Just staying well read and just staying true to myself and being innovative and just things like just pushing the envelope, because personally it's hard for me to get comfortable, like so much so, like I just want to watch shows in like the 90s right now, and but like when I get around to doing, I'm like, I don't even want to watch any of this, man, because like I feel uncomfortable if I can't just produce, if I can't just create something. Like it's really eating at me, and even when I create, I just feel like it's like not even enough, man. So on this personal day, it's a Saturday right now, man. I'm gonna see what's good. See if I can immerse myself in just a bunch of creative stuff. I've already written a verse today. Just want to push that fear away. You push that fear away by, again, immersion, getting lost in what you do, getting lost in that world, man. Like when you watching a Disney movie, you get lost in that world, man. You need to create your own Disney movie of the mind and just get lost, man. You get lost and get found and create, and don't even worry about what's going on out there. Just put your own spice on life, baby, however you choose to do it. Alright, so let me know what I missed. I don't think I spoke on the fear aspect too much, because I don't really want to. I like to speak on solutions, but I feel like I need to double down on that somewhere, so it may be a part 2. I'm not sure. But anyway, no matter how you feel about it, if you feel like you have to make a necessary action, then you just go out there and just do it. You'll be better for it, even if up front you just feel terrible. But look, it all work out, because you're going to put your hands in it, you're going to put your say-so in it, man. But always just keep showing up, and don't let the beat downs discourage you, because it definitely will. But as you learn to take those beatings, they hurt a little worse. You get up faster. I mean, they hurt a little less. You heal faster, and you just make progressions. You look out for certain things, and you don't just move. You don't move blindly, and fear blinds you. So no gimmicks. You already know who it is, man. Thanks a lot. Like and subscribe.